What's up, y'all? This is part 2. I received the request that somebody wanted me to go into depth, so I will. This is the video part 2 for period of self-isolation. So we're going to start off with going into depth about where I left off at in the first video. If you haven't watched the first video, click the link in my bio and watch the first one. We're gonna go and start off with the connections and making connections with people and meeting people that are, either soul fam connections that, you're drawn to, that may turn into you finding out that it's a soul connection, or even just what you're drawn to in terms of just people in general. And it doesn't mean that they're soul family. Maybe they're a divine counterpart. Maybe I just saw the word twin flame. So this is where you guys are going to have to find out what resonates in this message, because I'm going more into depth. There's going to be things that may or may not apply to you. So please use your discernment as I am explaining this information, because there might be just specific pieces in here that may be for you while other pieces are for somebody else. Getting to the point. When you are meeting people, make sure you guys have goals that are aligned. Make sure that your priorities are aligned. And also, I want to mention how important it is to establish right away that you're not looking to put a name on the connection right away. You're looking to maybe, check in here and there, in a couple weeks, couple months, depending on how you socialize with people. The reason that this, in my perspective, is important is because we, as people who are going into phases of letting go, ending cycles, healing old trauma related to the cycles that we're ending, healing trauma related to past relationships and connections with people that we've had to walk away from. I'm here to explain that when you finally meet someone you resonate with that really is aligned with you and your priorities and your goals, it's very easy to get caught up in the moment and forget to verify if, one, your goals are aligned or are they different. Because if they're different, that means you may be soul family, you may be twin flames, you may be divine counterparts, but guess what? You guys have two different journeys. Y'all can stay connected, but you can't necessarily be too much in each other's energy, because it's going to be very easy for you to be veered off of your path 3, 2, 1 when you're focusing on trying to maintain a connection and show up in a connection the way that you wished, other people would show up in your previous connections. 333 on the clock. Going further into that, you then risk developing a codependent connection instead of maintaining a healthy one. Understanding what you need for yourself before you establish that bond with the other person that you are forming a connection with slowly, really understanding what you need personally in the beginning of the creation of this connection is going to be so important. Because when you start to lay out what you need to know that this person is showing up in this area, which is checking in every couple of weeks or a couple of months, however it works for you, you're slowly establishing something and putting down the building blocks. 432 is just on the clock. We are getting ascending numbers here, bro. And descending numbers. Pay attention to those if you're seeing those. It's going to be a sign for somebody. Back to the point. It's very easy to develop codependent connections with people because we crave that genuine connection, that genuine, I guess they want me to use the word friendship. Friendship, or bond, or that company. Because some of us, because we feel alone at times, we enjoy being able to share our experiences with somebody, our vulnerabilities with somebody. And we have a time period when we meet people where we actually have to, they want me to use the word shadow phase when I explain this part, because you also need to evaluate where this person is on. You also have to evaluate where this person is at on their shadow work journey. And how often do they actually work on their shadow work? Okay? Because that's another big piece. If you're, let's say, regularly working on staying aware of yourself to where you're working on your shadow work on a regular daily basis, and you have a person that you've met where you're slowly building a connection with them, once again, this is either platonic or an actual relationship. Hell, you could probably already be in a relationship with this person. And it's a thing, but it's not like established, or it is established and there's some things that need to be reevaluated. But ultimately, it's hella important to know if this person is working on their shadow work, because it's going to determine the trajectory of, one, how long this relationship's really going to last. Two, is this relationship going to teach you a lesson about not paying attention to the requirements that come along with building a connection with someone? Or are you just going to jump into it? I just got a confirmation. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Okay, back to what I was saying. One of the things you're going to need to establish with yourself as you're meeting people is definitely making sure as well that this person is regularly working on themselves shadow work wise, and that they're actually open to holding an open-minded conversation with you when you are approaching them about something that you are noticing, where they will understand as you're communicating with them that you're coming from a place of love and that you actually care about them enough to bring to their attention what you are noticing from them that could relate to a shadow trait. And that it doesn't turn into a form of judgment or trying to crucify a person, but to really establish an understanding that with this person, that these conversations are going to happen. Are you prepared to have these conversations with me? Because we're both going to be helping each other grow. Because as you have these conversations with them, they're going to have them with you too. And then you got to ask yourself, are you ready to receive some information that maybe you either don't want to hear or that you didn't know you need to hear, and then you get triggered because you didn't know you needed to hear it. And then are you ready to be self-aware and self-conscious enough to know when to check yourself, and vice versa? I didn't think that this topic in depth was going to last so long, so I might actually just go into a part 3 because, it's already at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'll just see you in the next video.